Hello guys! Right, so this is Nail Roulette. Can't remember what round it is, can't be bothered looking, but let's move on. The criteria was, well, it was medium squoval. I don't have squoval, I have square, but I only have square in short or long. So I went with short, because I'm more likely to wear short myself and I want to be practicing more on short nails. The colour was turquoise. We had to use blooming gel. The theme was water and we had to incorporate shells. So this is the turquoise that I chose. It's a Madame Glam colour and it is Birthday Boy. So I have done 2 coats on my little shorty nails. I got this sticker out, which I may or may not use. I quite like it. I think it could be quite effective. But I want to try and get that water effect with blooming gel. I've also got some little shells out. These are the smallest ones I've got. They're still really big, so I might not use a lot of them. Now normally you would put blooming gel down and then put a colour on top. But because I want to put white on and then I want it to bloom, I'm going to try doing it the other way. So I'm just going to get a little stand and try it on the big one first. So I'm going to do a layer of white, and for that I'm going to use my trusty old Canni. The bottle is a bit chipped, but it's a good polish. I like it. So I'm going to put a layer of that down. I'm going to put blooming gel. I'm going to dot blooming gel on top of it and see what happens. I've no idea. It might end badly. You might already know this. You might have tried it. But I'm going to give it a go. I mean, the white, this is not a bad white, to be fair. It covers quite well for a white. I'm always a bit nervous about whites and blacks because they do tend to wrinkle in the lamp if you're not careful. So I am only putting fairly thin coat on, especially seeing as I am going to be going in with the blooming gel. For the blooming gel I'm going to use a dotting tool. These are my pretty dotting tools. Aren't they pretty? I think I was going to say I'll put some on my palette, but I don't know where my palette's gone. My little cat has vanished. Okay then. Sure I've got palettes somewhere. I'll tell you what, let's use here. Let's use my palette pad, which is just like plasticized paper. And get some blooming gel out on that. And let's see what happens. This big blob of blooming gel is probably way too much, but... And let's see what it does. It might do nothing, but I'm kind of hoping it moves that white around a bit. That's kind of doing, but it's not going through it. Maybe I should have done white and then put the blue on. I'm going to wipe that off and try an extremely thin coat of white and see if that works. And take most of the white off my brush. Try and do an incredibly thin layer of white. Still looking a bit thick. Let's see if I can take some of it off. that's a much thinner coat. So let's just see what happens now. Still not really working, is it? Wipe that off again. Back to the drawing board, I think. Bear with me, I'll come back. Right, I have another potential plan. So I've got a bit of white on there. I don't have a milky white, so I'm going to try and create a milky white. This base coat might not have been the best idea because it's very, very thick for some reason, but I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to see. I have faith. Let's see if this makes any difference. I'm going to put that on with hopefully a flat brush, that will do. I don't know whether that's milky enough, but we'll have a go. It might be. Right, well, let's try the blooming gel now. I think it's better. Try and put some like different sized ones on there. I'm on a nerve on my hand there, so it is working now. I don't know whether you can see that. I mean, it's not perfect. I think it probably would be better with a darker background to show through. I think that would probably give a better effect. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this and then I'm going to give it another coat. I'm going to zap that now because it is. I'll put my glasses on so I can actually see the monitor. It is making that effect. I'm going to zap that. I'm going to try another coat. So another coat of the milky white and then more blooming gel, and we'll see how it goes. you think, guys? I kind of like that. Right, I am going to use this sticker because I want to see how it works. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these to kind of make like a surf line on there, and then I'm going to put the shells on to fulfill that part of the assignment. I think I'm only going to do the shells on the ring finger though, because I think it would be a little awkward to have it on your pointer finger. So I might need my scissors for this, I think, because I'm going to use just sections of these. And I could use this corner bit and do, you know, something like that, which might actually work right out the back. Let me have a look. My decent tweezers. I mean, again, these are probably not going to be worn. They're going to go into my folder that I have, that I keep all my sort of collab and stuff sets in. But I would still like it to be wearable. Maybe that way, actually. I stick that down on this edge. The hair on my tweezers. Seriously. Do you know what? I've cocked up there anyway because I haven't taken the tacky layer off. Let me just give that a quick wipe. Stay there, sticker, please. Do that one as well. Try again. And what I want to do is just tack that down on that point there, but then I'm going to go and going to trim it with my scissors so that it isn't overlapping the edge of the nail, because or else it will lift. I probably should have cut it to size before I took it off the backing paper. I think that probably would have been an easier option. But you know me, if there's an easy way and a hard way of doing something, I'll generally choose the hard way, because I'm stupid like that. Some people might say I like a challenge. I just think I'm stupid. Yeah, I mean, it's not gone to the edge there, but I think the overall effect will be okay. It definitely would. On the next one I will cut it before I take it off the backing to make sure that it's not going to cause any issues, but I might be able to cover that with a shell anyway. Let's have a look what we've got in here for shells. I was hoping there'd be like a pointy one. I do have quite a lot of boxes of these shells. That. I mean, they're gonna stick up no matter what, aren't they? Do it that way up, and it's really gonna stick up. I think I'm going to use some gummy gel or something to sort of set these into. So, 1 second. Have my gummy jelly from Nail Couture. I'm going to get a little spatula or a little spoon. I don't want a spoon, I want a spatula. Don't know why I want a spatula, but I do. So I'm going to get quite a big blob of this, and I'm just going to plonk it down there. I'm going to try and put some other stuff in as well. I'm nearly out of shot there, I'm pretty sure. Got a nice big blob. Stick that back in there for the time being because I don't want it going everywhere. And do this with tweezers so that I don't get it all over my skin because I've not got gloves on. Spin that round a little bit. And I might put another one in as well. Oh, that one's pretty. Let's use that one. I have 2 shells on there. I think I'm going to put some gems in as well. Okay, surprisingly I don't have any turquoise stones, but I do have these, which are not far off, and some green ones, and some sort of oceany, AB shifty ones. So I think I might do a mix. If I can get the lid off without throwing them everywhere. Right, so on this one, I'm going to put some of these on the other turquoise nail as well. Might be a bit of a pig to pick up. Oh, that's quite a good colour match actually. I'll stick one of those in there. And some smaller ones. Oh no, I'm not, because I'm going to drop it everywhere. Go back. Probably a picker might have been a better idea for this. That's quite nice. Put another one of these smaller ones. Oh, I can't pick things up today. And there. I'm going to get some little caviar beads. Now then, what colour caviar beads? Or should I use pearls? No, I think caviar beads would be better. Beads. Ooh, that. Look at that. They're nice. Let's move that gummy jelly out of the way for a minute. And try and again get these out without dropping them everywhere or dropping the pot. Where's my picker tool gone? I don't know. How bizarre. Okay, that's rather random. I've lost my wax picker-upper. My wax picker-upper has gone. I cannot see it anywhere. That's really bizarre. I can't remember what it looks like, to be honest. I think it's pink crystals. I wonder if it's ended up in my e-nail toolbox. Okay, let's try and not throw these everywhere. Go back to one side for a second. Glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. That's rather nice. Sorry about my dog. My dog has fleas, and I've spent an absolute fortune now on different flea treatments and solutions, none of which seem to have made much of a difference. So she's a bit miserable at the moment. She keeps scratching. She's driving herself bonkers. She's driving me bonkers as well. So yeah, I've just ordered some, well, I hope I've ordered some old-fashioned flea treatment, because this modern spot-on stuff just doesn't seem to work. I mean, I've got a dog and 4 cats, so every time I buy flea treatment it costs me like £100, and they've had two different ones now that haven't been very effective. So I've just bought, you know, the old-fashioned flea powder in the hope that it's going to actually work. We will see. I really hope it does, because honestly she's driving me bonkers. So on this one, The sticker doesn't go all the way to the edge, which is the best way to do it, but it looks a bit naff, so I'm just going to try and go in with a little bit of white. I don't know whether white or milky white might be better. Where's my palette with my milky white on? See if there's any left on there that I can salvage. I just put my finger in it. I'm just going to go in with my milky white just on the bottom edge a little bit, just to kind of tie it in. It doesn't have to be perfect, just to make it look a bit more cohesive. And come up onto the sticker a little bit. That's fine too. Okay. I'm just going to cook that. And for this one, I am going to go in with my top coat all around these embellishments that we've put on. I'm going to put some of these, I'm going to get rid of that now because that's going to end up with me getting paint all over me. I'm going to put a couple of these beads on this as well. In fact, I'm going to put a big one there, I would think, and then where should I go in the corner there? I don't know. I don't know. I think I might go in the corner actually. So I'm going to put a blob of this in the corner. And then I'm going to get one of the big ones, put it right in the corner. Maybe a little awkward on a index finger, but like I said, these are not going to be worn anyway. So I'm just going around, and my dog's in here by the way now, so if you can hear a lot of scratching and messing around, that's her. I'm just going around, I'm trying to cover the caviar beads and just sealing these shells a little bit. If you were going to wear this set, you would want to get in with a detail brush just over those inner caviar beads there, because the coating on them is extremely thin and it will wear off if you are wearing the set. I'm sometimes going over the mermaid beads a little bit. It's not as catastrophic as it would be if they were faceted. If they were faceted, they would lose a lot of their shine. I'm also going to try and fill this this open end of this shell a little bit with gel, so that it's not just going to fill up full of crud. Again, if you were wearing them, that would be a lot more important. Coco, keep still, sweetie. And stop scratching. You're driving me bonkers. I'm going to do the same sort of thing on this one. Just try and cover the caviar beads and not go over too much of the mermaid stones, but again, it's not that important as it would be on a faceted gemstone. But yeah, you can just go in with a detail brush to do this. I'm just being lazy. And I really need to fill this bottle of top coat because it's nearly out. I just got a bit on the mermaid stone there, and if I'm not going to cover the whole thing, I don't want a bit because then you will see it. So I'm going to wipe that off. I have one of these micro Q-tips. Let's get that off there. Okay, put that in the lamp. So this is the finished set. I'm trying to get it so that it's not glaring so much, but it's not the finished set. Don't be a dick. So this is the finished set. I don't know how well you can see these blooming gel ones, but it is quite a nice effect. See maybe a little bit there. I will try and take some still photos and pop them in at the end so that you might be able to see a bit better. Thank you for MisTe for giving us the inspiration we need to continue making sets. If you want to join in the collaboration, we do nail roulette. So you basically T spins the wheels, and we get prompts basically, and we have to incorporate those prompts into a set of nails, and it really does help get you out of that sort of funk where you sit down at your nail desk and you go, I have no idea, I want to do something but I have no idea where to start, I haven't got any inspiration, I don't, you know, nothing's sparking. And it really does help, and it also pushes you to use things that you might not use. I'm sure we've all got stuff that has been sat in our nail room for weeks, months, even years in some cases, that we don't use, and this kind of pushes you into doing stuff. There was flocking in a set recently in one of the collabs that we did, and you know, there's all sorts of stuff. You know, if you don't use stickers very often, or you don't use foils very often, or you don't use specific colours very often, or specific lengths very often, it will push you into those corners where you don't normally venture. So it's a really good idea. So I will link MisTe's channel down below, and if you fancy joining in, pop on over there, subscribe to her, and I'll see you on the next collab. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I'll see you very soon with another video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my marvellous videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.